Okay boss, fine. What should I do? Here, let me launch Android Studio. I'm launching now. This will take some time. Till then, I'll give some of the steps how to set up the Android SDK. How to set up the Android SDK. Android SDK setup. Here, what is the need of Android SDK setup, guys? When you install any Android Studio, you will get by default at least a single version APIs. You will get at least by default a single version APIs. But you won't get all fully supported tools, all fully supported extras, complete components along with the packages. So to get all these things, what you need to do, you need to go to the tools menu. You need to start with Android and click on SDK manager and then click on launch SDK manager application. When you launch that SDK manager application, at that time you will see what are the APIs which is already installed on your computer along with your Android Studio. By referring that one, which API you want to work. Either you want to work for Android 6, either you want to work for Android 5, either for Android 7. Download all those APIs, all the extras and all the tools which is necessary to build your applications for future purpose. Okay, I think my Android is started already. Now still loading, just wait. Okay boss, it started already. I don't want any tip of the day, close the tip of the day, and just move to tools. This will take time because just started. Move to SDK manager. Where is the SDK manager, boss? Here is my SDK manager. You can write the steps. Tools menu, SDK manager, Android, then SDK manager. When you click on this SDK manager, the SDK manager will launch. So this is my manager. Now here only you can see what are the APIs are installed along with your Android Studio. I'm having Android 4 and 4.0, 4 to 7.1 available. Okay. Now you can see no one is installed perfectly. In older versions, you can go specific to our separate tools. Here is tools, SDK tools, guys. You need to install all the tools. You have to install what? All the tools. I haven't installed, but currently it is working properly along with me. Some of them are installed, some of them are not installed. And SDK update. If you want to update repository, you can update. First of all, you will face the problem along with your system, that is Intel HXM. Intel HXM. This you have to install. Just click on from here. Click from here. You will get all the information. Are you getting? So take an example. I want to install any single version. Any single version like let me go for Android 7. Google APIs, and these are not installed. Look at here, whichever I am selecting, what is showing here was downloading, na? So select any one, Android 6 or 5, which one you will feel comfort, and then click on apply. Okay, it will start downloading. But what do you need was, you need an internet connection. Next, download all the tools for your application. Download all the tools for your application. Updates are not required that much, but you need to go for Intel XXM. It's compulsory for you. Also, system images. Don't go for TV, wearable. Glass development kit also not required. Google API add-on, system images is required. Play Store system images, if you want, you can download. And some of the APIs from Google Incorporations, that also you can download. And if you download for any offline repository along with you, you can also download. Just click on apply and then OK. It will start downloading, but this will take hours and hours of time. Are you getting, boss? Are you getting? This is already installed, but update. I don't want this one. Okay, boss, fine. I'm proceeding for only which version? Android 6 now currently. I want to update all Android 6. Apply. components will be deleted. Currently I don't want to delete boss, because let me proceed for, I don't need, because I have to proceed for a single example. So like this related problems, I provide a solution for this. Okay boss, let me proceed. Welcome application. File menu, new project. I am adding, this is my welcome app, or you can call your first app hello world. Are you getting boss? I am storing into my project repository, project location, which is available in C users home, which is available is where C users home Android Studio projects first hello world. So even though you can change, if you want to change the storage location. Fine boss. Click on next button. Select minimum API, which API you want to work. Next time I want to proceed with the 4.5, 4.0. I'll proceed with the 6. Which one boss? Marshmallow 6. Currently I'm going for the only 4.0. Click on next. Select empty activity. Click on next. You will get by default one my activity.java class. You will get by default one layout name as a activity underscore main, and just click on finish. Okay, this is ready. First. This is. Let me close this one. Yeah, it's closed now, guys. Still building. Initially, you will face lots of issues along with this R. Okay, if all the packages are not installed properly, fine boss, nothing is there. Now let me give you all the information regarding to the layouts information. This is my activity underscore main.xml, guys. Don't bother about all this stuff. This contains only XML code. Even if you're not interested to type all this stuff, you can go for drag and drop also. What are the necessary properties? That only you need to remember. Fine boss. I want to display one text. So you need to work with the text view control component. You have to work with what boss? Text view control components. This text contain Android colon text. Don't bother about this Android colon text. I will let you know. Hello world is my message I want to display into where boss? Onto my view or onto my activity. Are you getting? Whatever the presentation logics you are writing, these presentation logics should be available in a XML file. Which file boss? XML file. What is the by default file name it's available? Activity underscore main, but you can change later on if as per your requirement. You can give for home activity, you can give for welcome.xml, home.xml, login.xml, whichever you will feel comfort, you can proceed. By default this will be generated. Are you getting boss? Fine. Next, what is the width? This I will explain later on slowly. Okay, instead of going for slowly, just proceed now only. Here I am having one text view. For this text view, what is the layout I want to proceed? What is the layout? Layout of the width. The width should be whatever the contents available for my text. What is the content boss? Hello world, na? This content should be wrapped in my layout. In the case of width, how much it is required? Wrap that much of size only. Don't proceed for that. Specifically in the case of height also. Here also I am wrapping the content. Wrap the content which is necessary for your content of your text. Next, the text I am placing here is the text. Which text you want to display onto your view? Okay. Next, these are the top to bottom constraints are there. Left, right, top, bottoms. All are parent. Who is the top? Who is at the bottom? Who is at left? And who is at right? Next, let me go to design. There are number of layouts are there. I will come to know what are the layouts are there. Here is my view, guys. Here is my view. Let me maximize this view. Can you see some message over here, guys? The hello world. Are you getting? Means this is the textual part, actually you're coding source code, and for that source code, what is the picture will come? The same picture will appear here. This is the view it will display onto your, where? Onto your mobile, onto your emulator. Now, what is the solution name, application name you are given? This will appear as the title. Okay, fine boss. Now here are the control components. Let me give the introduction about the IDE also. Here your project console, project views. Here you can move from your Android, or you can go for project, packages. This you can go for testing also. You can go for local unit test for testing purpose only. You can produce the what are the problems are there. You can visualize problems here also. Project files and all the stuff. Let me proceed for next to your tools section. If you go to palettes, you can find all control components. Let me somewhat scroll down. Fine boss. All control components like a text view, like a button, like a toggle button, checkboxes. If you want to go for specific based widgets, what are the widgets are there? These are the widgets. If you go for text based, plain text, password text, email, phone, postal address, these are the text, edit text. If you want to go for layouts, constraint layout, now currently we are using. This is the default from Android Studio 2.3. Grid layout, frame layout, linear layout, linear layout. In the case of linear, you can go for vertical as well as horizontal. Relative layout, table row, and the fragment. Fragment will proceed at the middle. Containers, these are the containers. Images, which image you want to proceed. Dates, date picker, time picker. Transitions, advanced, Google, design, and app compact guys. Fine. Fine boss. These are the properties for your specific control component. If you click on here, you will get the properties, where you want to allocate, how you want to allocate. This feature they are added from 2.0 onwards, Android Studio 2.0. Earlier time I was using 1.3, but when you come after 2.0, you will see here. You will see here what boss? You will see here the control components of your application, where you want to manage either left, right, text application context. You can view all the properties for your all the control components. Fine. Fine boss. Let me go to the code now. Are you clear about this one? Yes. XML. This is easy. Now fine. When you come to the Java class, a Java class contains all the predefined logics. Initially, you will get all the predefined logics, which view you want to load. Don't worry, ma'am. You need not to write. Just pay attention. Okay. What is the package? At the time of package, I given the yhp.boss.my application name. Okay. You will get some predefined import statements along with your Java class. Here is my main activity, which extends app compact activity. Okay. Here I am going for. This is onCreate method is a lifecycle method of your Android. Now this app compact activity will call the superclass onCreate. Will call what? Superclass onCreate, and this onCreate means when your application will be launched, which view you want to load. What is the file name, boss? Activity_main, na? Look at here. What is the file name? The same XML file I want to load here. So this is the file name. Are you getting? So means what it means, when I'll show this manifest file also. I'll explain this demonstration. When an application will be launched, when you click on shortcut icon, at the time it will search for the launcher. The launcher activity will be always as a main. And who is that? Main activity.java. It is configured, na? I'm not configured. It's by default we will get the configuration from Android Studio only. It's available in Android manifest.xml. Now this the control will pass to the whom? Main activity.java. In the main activity.java, the method will call onCreate. OnCreate contains which view you want to set. Which view you want to set, boss? Activity_main. Here you will find activity_main, and this is my design. Are you getting now? Have you understood the flow of execution? Understood? Shall we launch now? Okay, boss. Click on play button. It is initializing my ADP. I think I am having an emulator, no, physical device along with me, my cell phone. It is showing here, I think not showing. Let me enable. Connected, refresh. Click on OK. Select anyone. To start will take time. I'm not showing my cell phone. Click on here and please proceed to download any full 6 or 7 or 5, which one is compatible to your mobile. Download ADB Manager also. Download ADB Manager also, and by using that ADB Manager also, that you can able to configure your mobile as a physical device to test your applications. Okay, if you're not interested to configure in your mobiles, what you have to do, create an emulator, a virtual device, not physical device, a virtual device, test your application here. But what is happening here, if you use virtual device, now Android Studio is already consuming at least 2 GB of RAM. Your OS consuming, if you are using Windows 7, at least 1.3 GB. Means you have spent more than 3.5 GB of RAM. Again you are launching what? Boss? Emulator. It will consume another 1 GB of RAM. Are you getting? To run your application, some 500 MB. 4 to 5 GB RAM is consumed. So, to make your system faster, always best practice to test your application where? In physical device. Means a faster deployment as well as faster execution. Are you getting, boss? Now this is your welcome app. Are you clear now? Easy? Easy or not? Let's proceed for now. Layouts now. Layouts. Next point, layouts. Nagaru sir, don't write anything. I'll give the soft copies to you. Yeah, I'm generating soft copy for my faculties because they don't have enough time. Really, it's for these guys. The one of the videos I'm generating, screen recording and all the stuff. Oh, what is that, boss? It's there. It's there. Okay, boss. Fine. My cell phone is getting hotter over there because of heat coming from projector. Layouts. Nice. What's your good name? Kavita. माझा वॉइस एवढा सुधी तर नाही की तुम्हाला झोप लागेल, बरोबर आहे ना? ओके, स्विच ऑफ द फॅन्स. इज इट ट्रू? माझा वॉइस एवढा सुधी नाही ना, एवढं स्मूथ नाही आहे की एवढा तुम्हाला झोप लागेल. मी काय ते अंगडाई गाऊन तुम्हाला झोपू घालत नाही ना. अंगडाईच ना, त्याला काय म्हणतो तुम्ही? हां, समथिंग लाईक दिस सेम. हां, now don't try to blink your eyes. Next time onwards I'll make you to stand on this chair. I don't care whether you fall down or your head get breaks. Believe? Thank you. Layouts. Fine guys, proceed for writing. Layouts. Layout is a visual structure. Layout is a visual structure when end user interact with, in other words, layout is a presentation layer. In Android, we will discuss 5 types of layout, and one more layout has launched, that is constraint layout. Okay. When I was learning, it was only 5 types of layouts, but one more layout has come in, that is constraint layout. In Android, we will have following types of layouts. First one, linear layout. Guys, if spelling mistake occurs, please forgive for that. Relative layout. Next, table layout. Fourth, absolute layout. Absolute layout. And fifth, framed layout. Sixth, constraint layout. Okay, boss. Fine. First, proceed for linear layout. Linear layout. A layout. A layout that organizes its child element. Its child element means what are the control component which is present in the layouts. Okay, maybe text view, maybe edit text, maybe what can I call checkboxes, radio buttons, or normal buttons, or password fields, anything. A layout that organizes its child elements in a single direction. In a single direction. What are the single directions? Either horizontal or vertical. That is horizontal or vertical. Let's also sample layout for this. Now here, let me change in my application, guys. Directly I am changing in application. Let me remove that constant layout. Arey yaar. Okay, fine. Let me remove this total component. I don't want this all this stuff. Okay, fine. So what should I add? Linear layout. Let me remove here. Linear layout. Fine, boss. You can have this statement. Take the example, guys. Take it here. You can write the example. If you want, let me copy and paste to the outside. Control V. Don't write this XMLs, make it as a blank, dash, dash, dash. Take the example. Those who want to take the example, they can take. Left angle bracket, linear layout. Just XMLs colon Android. Make it as a dash, dash, dash. This will come by default. You need not write. Okay. XMLs colon app. This will come by default automatically. Make it as a dash, dash, dash. You need not write. This is generated by whom? IDE. Tools also make it dash, dash, dash. Otherwise, instead of this one, match parent, file parent. Well, add one more property, guys, here. Let me add one more. That is what? ID. Android colon ID. Let me pass what @ID. This is my what? Linear layout 1. And let me arrange this in the vertical or horizontal. Android colon orientation. Which one shall we proceed first? Vertical. Fine, boss. Let me copy this and let me modify again. Okay, boss. Now you can proceed for write-up. Now, first time write it properly. Don't write anything. Here, make it as a dash, 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 guys. Okay. This contains all the control components. We can add any number of control components as per your requirement. Okay. What is important, guys? You need not write this tools colon component also. We can skip also. Okay, what's next? Let me proceed for same example. Same example for what? Is the same example for horizontal layout. Horizontal layout. What should I mention here instead of vertical? Fine. This is the layout. Next, let me go for what? Second layout name. That is relative layout. The relative layout allows the relative allows us to use allows us to position your component based on nearby component position. Nearby component position or sibling position. Sibling component position. The relative layout is the most flexible layout. Which allows you to position your components anywhere in the layout. In relative layout, we can use above, below, left, right, to arrange the components. Let's proceed for the example for this relative layout, guys. What should I change here? Instead of this one, let me create by myself only. Let me give the examples. Relative layout. Next, Android colon ID assignment operator @ plus ID. Here I am giving the name called RL1, relative layout 1. Next property, let me arrange this Android colon 1. Next, layout width underscore width is equal to, what do you want to do? I want to match parent. Next, Android colon layout underscore height is equal to match parent. Next, add some other properties. Find those. After this, let me add some control components. How will I add? Dash dash dash. Okay. Let me close what? Relative layout. Fine. Find this. Next, let me go for what? Third layout, that is table layout. The table layout is used to arrange your control components or simply components based on rows or columns, just like HTML table rows and columns. Let me go for the example for this. Table layout. Just copy and paste, guys. Not a great. Because all control components are having same values. Let me add here what? TL, table layout, same. Instead of this one, what should I mention here? Table layout. Fine. Next, let me go for what? Fourth one. Which one was post? Absolute layout. Absolute layout. In Android, absolute layout is used to arrange the components by using x and y coordinate, pixel based coordinations. Note for this Android, absolute layout, I am writing in short, absolute layout is less flexible layout. Why? Because you have to analyze the pixel by pixel. Okay, let me create the example for this. Absolute layout what should I mention here? Absolute layout. Fine, boss. This is the example for absolute layout. Okay, boss. Another two layouts are there. I will explain those layouts in practical sessions. Let me go for activity. As I explained to you, what is the activity actually? What is the activity? What is manifest file? What is an view, presentation view? That is an XML file. Take first. Activity. Activity is to provide application screen element the user can interact with this screen to perform an action such as dial a call, comma, open the gallery, comma, take a picture, comma, send email, and etc. Each activity will have an exclusive window, specific window for that activity, guys. What is the meaning of exclusive? Separate, specific for that. Exclusive window user to draw its Android's user interface, comma, window usually filled window usually filled screen, but but it may be less than the screen or floating to floating to top of other window. To provide or to create activity, to create a programmer activity, programmer activity, you must have to you must create a subclass to activity class, and you need to implement you need to override or implement you need to override or implements the callback methods like on create. We have already na. Okay boss, it's a big diagram. Let me draw if possible. I am having along with me or not, I don't know. Is it over to you? This much? Okay, let me draw in paint. Activity life cycle. Activity life cycle. Let me draw the activity life cycle in the paint. How can I draw boss here? Fine, I will make two use. First, let me go for first. Look at it, guys. First, let me go for example for this. When you click on the shortcut icon on your screen, when you click on the shortcut icon of any application on the screen, at the same time, it is having some predefined methods. It is having some predefined methods, guys, for the activity lifecycle that you must and should have to override. The predefined methods like on create, on start, on resume, on pause, on stop, on destroy. These are the methods you must and should have to override. Okay, these are not fully abstract methods, partial abstract methods, but you must and should have to override. On create method is a fully abstract method. You must and should have to override the on create method also. Apart from this one, when you launch your activity, any view, now let me go for programming way. Now I'm clicking here. When I click on any applications in my cell phone, the view will generate. The view will generate. At that time, what is the launcher activity? What is the main activity in my manifest file? That will be searched. Okay. In our previous example, I explained that main activity. Okay, in the welcome app, that main activity.java class will be loaded into the memory. Will be loaded into the memory. At the same time, which contains, we have already one method. Which method, boss? On create method. On create method is already done. That on create method contains what is the logic you have written. What is the logic you have written? Maybe loading your view, maybe loading your XML file. That logic will execute and you will get the pictorial representations or presentation layer logics on your display. Now I got this on create view. I got or not? This is the view that they have written. After that, on create, internet will call on start. Okay. After that, now you are resuming this activity now. Again, you should proceed for on resume. What are the operations you are performing on create? At the same time, your activity will be in running mode now. Your activity will be in a running mode. In the case of running mode, next I have gone to some other. Now I want to open some application, some view. I clicked here. New view is coming. Now previous activity is paused. New activity is coming or not? On pause will call again other new on create classes, other on create activities. Again from on create activity, on start, on resume, and activities running mode. Activities in running mode. Same way, when you go for I'm performing some operation. Look at here. When I'm clicking on some profile. When I click on profile, again new activity is launched. Again on create, on start, on resume is running mode or not? Remaining two activities are on pause, na? Are you getting? समझते क्या क्या बोलते मैं? Same way, when I decided to start, when I decided to stop, at the time, now I'm going back. The previous activities are stopped now. Now I'm coming to the main activity. When I go back, when I remove all my activities from my memory, from memory, at that time, all the destroy method will be called and your activity will shut down. What are the methods are there? On create, on start, on resume, on pause. Next, after that, previous activities are pause. Whether we are going to close or not. Okay, after having pause, if it's running, okay, let it running. As you are utilizing that view. After utilizing, let's go for destroy. You will call on destroy, and finally your activity will shut down. It's a big diagram, guys. Okay, let me draw. Here, I'll draw one after another. Why? Because let me stop this one.